Well, hey, gang, welcome to the Power Agent Success Series. We're very excited to have you here where where agents are sharing how to help other agents. And I have an incredible, great guest with us today, George Rosario. How you doing, George?
What's going on, buddy?
So I am excited because George is one of those power agents that have been with the Power Agent family for I don't know how long, man. When did you start taking our training? It's been a long
Since
time.
he used to give us that big giant book. Remember that big binder with all
over 400. I still got some in the basement. Over 400 pages.
It's still in storage in New York. I just can't get rid of it. There's so much magic in there. I can't get rid of it.
Thank you. Yes. Well, listen, when I drop dead, it'll be a collector's item.
There you go. I need to get you to sign it, autograph it.
So there you go. Then it'll go for some serious money. All right. So I have a whole bunch of questions we're going to shoot out at George just to give a little background. First of all, George, what's the best way for people to contact you after this?
I'm really easy to reach via text. It's my major way of actually getting through to me. You want my number?
Yeah. Go ahead. Give it out, man.
917-945-4211. So that's very easy to reach me there. And usually the moment you text that number, 917-945-4211, you will get a link that will connect you to my social media, to my web pages in New York, to my web page in Florida, to all the business that I do, including public speaking, everything else. It'll just give you a link to everything without giving me a big giant binder.
Awesome. And if people wanted to jump on a website, do you have a web address for them?
I have everything connected to my link tree. Depending if they're in New York, it's georgerosario.exprealty.com. If they're in Florida, is glrosario.exprealty.com.
And let's clarify that just so people can understand. And I want to start off with your production level because so that way it'll empower people's listening that, you know, your background, right? So first of all, you've been in real estate how long?
I jumped in when people ran out, 2008.
2008. Yeah. Yay, what a great time to get into the business. Okay. And you are now have two teams, one in New York, and you recently just moved to Florida. You have, I think you told me 18. How many people in New York?
18 in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we have 6 in Florida.
Now, but you just got down to Florida not too long ago, right? How long has it been now?
I moved to Florida in December, and I got my license in Florida. It took some time. I got my license in Florida in March, which is a lucky month because that's when I got my license in New York in 2008. So March of 2021 is when I got my license here in Florida.
Okay, so it's been not even a full year yet. Now, your production up in New York was was not a great year for you, based on what you shared. But still, you did, if I'm not mistaken, $18 million in closed business.
In 2020.
In 2020, okay,
right.
So then 2021. This year you're on track to finish out what?
We're gonna break 100 million.
Okay, so that's closed business, ladies and gents, and that's in between also having some changes in his personal life, getting married this year, moving from New York to Florida. So you know, any of you know George personally, it's it's always a roller coaster ride of fun. And how many children do you have, by the way, George?
I have 7 biological, 2 stepkids. So I have 9 kids now and 4 grandchildren, and I just turned 49. So I think I've been in a rush my whole life.
I think people have getting tired just hearing that you have 7 children and 2 locations, and I mean that's just you got a lot of energy.
Now it's a total of 9. Because my stepdaughter and stepson, I mean, they've blended right into the family.
Awesome.
I mean, they're all part of everybody, and the 4 grandkids, and my dad who still acts like a kid. So I mean, I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, you know.
Well, let's get into some of this. So again, I wanted people to hear that to get a sense of you and your background and your business. And, there's some power agents and non-power agents that are watching this that are probably wondering, like, how did you build a business like that? Let's first jump into, why did you get into real estate? What did you do before real estate? Why did you get into the business?
So before real estate, I did some property management before real estate, and as luck would have it, I was managing two properties in Bushwick, two 6-family homes in Bushwick, and the owner said, "I want to sell my properties." This was at the end of 2007. He says, "I want to sell these two properties. It's too much of a headache. I'm done, and my son doesn't want to help me, so I'm done." And I said, "Okay, I'll find you an agent." He goes, "No, nobody knows my properties like you. You sell them." And I said, "Well, I'm not licensed to sell real estate." He says, "Okay, I'll wait until you are." So thank you, Ed Corman, for for inspiring me to get into real estate. At the time, George, you just said roller coaster, right? So at the time, I decided to go simultaneous into two businesses and take two licenses. I was taking my insurance license. Somehow I don't see myself as an insurance salesperson, but I was going into life, health, and disability with a great company, and I was taking my studies and my licensing, and jumped into real estate and took my studies and my licensing. And then I heard from the insurance company. They told me, "Well, with us, you can't have both licenses. You have to let go of your real estate license in order to work with us." And they said, "This is not the law, but it is our company policy." And I said, "Okay, that's great. Thank you for disclosing that right now. I am going full-time into real estate." And
so they kind of pushed you and helped with that decision.
And then coming into the business with two 6-family listings, I walked in, I had, talk about bargaining power. I walked into a brokerage and I said, "What's your split?" And they said, "Well, your brand new agent is 50-50. And I said, "That's nice. I'll go somewhere else." And they said, "No, but what do you mean?" And I said, I'm starting at 70-30. And if I close X amount of deals within my first 6 months, I'm going to be at 80-20. And he goes, "Who do you think you are? You just got your license." And I said, "I'm the guy that has two 6-family listings right now." So I waited until he played big ball. "Who do you think you are?" This is who I am.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Listings on the table. And he says, "Oh, wait, okay, come on." And that was it. And I established a great relationship with him, where we've become great friends. He's no longer in real estate. I still am. So, there was a lot of pushback. I jumped on social media right away when I was in real estate. I'm going to date my real estate career right now. I started in MySpace, and I was posting properties on MySpace. And he says, "What are you doing? MySpace is where high school students go to hook up." Exactly what he told me. And I said, "And it's where parents are going to see what their kids are doing, so they might catch one of the ads." And he says, "Whatever."
Let's jump to the social media for a second. How do you use social media now? Because obviously social media has evolved so much since MySpace. Some people watching this don't even know what you just said. So what's your favorite platform and how do you use it?
To find people who are making changes in their lives, Facebook. So sellers are on Facebook. To find buyers, they're on Instagram, because they're scrolling up and they go, "Oh, pretty kitchen," click, and they click on it. My wife is amazing on Pinterest. So to find buyers on Pinterest, boom, nice picture, they click on it. Okay. And to find industry partners, LinkedIn. So I don't just base my business, it's become a science for me. And I don't base my business on one social media platform, but for anyone that's in any type of sales, forget about just real estate, any type of sales, if you are not on social media, you don't exist. Why? What's the last time you seen anyone walk out of the house without this thing? No one. As a matter of fact, some people take it to the bathroom with them. That's why I don't borrow people's phones. They take it to the bathroom with them. Other people, they take it to the bedroom with them. I mean, I have a rule. This doesn't go into the bedroom. I don't want it in the bedroom. I don't want to hear it in the bedroom. But some people take it to the bedroom every night. And
Well,
before you go to sleep,
that's because you're a newlywed. So that's what that's about. But
yeah, you know.
all right. So so you're using different platforms for different purposes. How, and you said you have to be on it. What would you say to the more mature, non-tech savvy agent who is afraid of social media? What would you say to them how to get started?
I will ask them if they've ever dated anybody. And usually they go, well, what do you mean? Of course I've dated someone. I said, okay, were you scared to go up to that person the very first time? Or they come up to you and they look nervous on the very first time? Look, anything that's new to you in anything, when you first got into real estate, the first time you put pen to paper on a deal, you were scared. You were nervous. If you're a homeowner, first time you sign a contract, you were scared. As a matter of fact, as a renter, you were scared to sign a lease the very first time you sign a lease. Everything new is scary when you first do it. If you can get past that initial fear, that's when you start enjoying the benefits of that new thing. Now, how to get into social media, especially I do speak in front of a lot of people that are business people, are entrepreneurs, and they want to use social media. You know, that's one of the things I teach. I do the whole thing on how to use social media responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to get into social media, but they don't know where to get started. Ask someone that is doing it right. The evidence is here. You'll see who's doing it right, who's getting exposure, who's actually building a business around it. Ask someone there. If you have to pay them to coach you, pay them to coach you. Coaching is important in any aspect of life. I don't care if it's just business or personal. Get yourself someone that's a mentor. So if you have to pay someone to teach you how to do it responsibly, the returns you get are, I mean, you can't measure them.
Yeah, and I remember you've always been really good on social media out the gate, and as things changed, you changed with it. And I remember I remember you using Instagram and having a really long closing signature address with your name and links and and a lot of hashtags. So
Yep.
you've always put yourself out there. And I think what's interesting about the social media is that because the guys that own those companies, Mark Zuckerberg for Facebook, for example, and go on, they keep changing the rules of the game, right, of their platform. So there's not like you learn it and then you're done,
Right.
because they may change something and now you've got to change with that. So it's an ongoing thing to just be aware of. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about how you built your business. Like if you were to say, because that's impressive, like to do 100 million in closed business this year and having the team. Actually, let me ask you this question. In building a team, what would be the first person that you would recommend to somebody that wants to build a team? What would you say to them?
Start looking at where you're not strong and bringing in people where you're not strong. So I'm more of an artist personality. I'm not the guy that's super organized. I really am not. Even though I do have slight OCD, I'm not organized. So Luis Lopez, who was my partner when we were with Luckstone Realty, which we had in New York, Luis Lopez was a master of reading contracts and organization. And this guy just wanted to be in his tiny little office in the corner. Leave me alone. Let me read everything. Me, I'm the guy, sentence number 3. Okay, where do I sign? Right here, let's go. And that gets me in trouble. So look for people that are strong in what you're not strong.
Okay.
Because what happens, the big mistake that people make when they're trying to set up a team is that they want it to be very comfortable. So they start looking for people that are exactly like them. So what you end up with is a frat house rather than a team. You end up with a bunch of guys that can just hang out and everything is cool and we get to go along and we all like steak and potatoes, but we're not getting any deal done.
Right.
We're not getting any business done because we're all the same, and those places where we lack strength still exist. So if you start looking for the strong people in what you're not strong in, and please, if you are going to be a team leader, do not micromanage. learn how to delegate responsibilities. Look, you're good at public speaking. You're good at answering phones. You're good at making the phone calls. You're good at follow up. You're good at organization. You read contracts great, and you write best, the best content for my social media. Let's all get together and put it all together.
All right, let me ask you this then, George, because the potential challenge I see with what you said. So it's a question now is, so hire somebody on the things you're not good at. Immediately, I know some agents said, well, I'm not good, nor do I like prospecting and making phone calls and that. So let me go delegate that. What would you say to that?
Everyone is good at prospecting if they find a way to prospect in their style. Remember how I built my business. The reason why you and I got along from the very beginning is because designing a life worth smiling about. That was your constant line. And I mean, if you can't tell, I'm always smiling. This is who I am. So I was like, I like this guy. I didn't have to know anything else except this guy's always smiling.
Yeah.
So I like this guy. Find a way to prospect the way that it fits your lifestyle, which is another thing that when I'm training people, this is what I do. I tell them, what is it that you like to do? You're a golfer, golf. You're a tennis player, play tennis. You're a couch potato the life away. I don't care what you do, but find a way to monetize and increase your relationships through that one thing that you have passion for. I don't like cats. I'm sorry to cat owners. Tell April I still love her. But I'm not a cat person. I'm a dog person. So I have great conversations over Gunner and running with him and enjoying my time with him.
Yep.
I love fitness. So I have great conversations over fitness. And I'm a beach bum. I have great conversations over that. If you find what it is that you like to do, then you can prospect there. The issue is that people think that the only way you can prospect is by making a phone call and following one script. And the beauty is that in the beginning, you have to get used to getting past that fear and developing your own persona and business by following some scripts, by learning a system, which is why your system works so well for so many people, because your system really does prepare people to start developing themselves in the way they are. So what do I mean by that? If I'm going to prospect and try to sound like Darryl Davis on the phone, I'm going to suck because I'm not Darryl Davis.
Right.
If Darryl Davis starts calling people and trying to sound like George, Darryl Davis will be broke tomorrow because Darryl Davis is not George. So what you do is you take that base, those scripts, and when you master those scripts, then you start developing your own persona in your business. You start going into, I like to talk to people about, this is a big taboo, politics. Well, guess what? This nation is so divided right now. It's 50-50 that if you're going to talk politics, why don't you, if you're a Republican, go into Republican circles. If you're a Democrat, go into Democrat circles and never be a secret agent. Let them know what you do for a living and then talk their language. I agree with this and that and this and that. Okay, great. Agree. Oh, and by the way, I'm a realtor. Oh, awesome. That's the issue. Everybody's a secret agent. Yeah. They're walking around ashamed to tell people they're in real estate. I'm like, why?
Now this is really, I just want to highlight it because it's really important what you said about finding your style, finding what works for you, because some people might be watching you and okay, George has done 100 million, is going to do 100 million close. He's got New York and he's got Florida and he seems so happy that makes me want to vomit. And I don't think I can be like George, right? So they don't have to be you, right? They have to be more of themselves. So I think that's really important that people find that, listen, you have to prospect as an agent. You have to continue bringing business into your business, but find what this is the message I got back for. Find the approach that works best for you based on your style. Right. But that means you still have the prospect. So you don't mean, okay, let me hire an assistant to do it for me. That's not the answer,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
The issue with hiring someone to do what you hate is that you give yourself an excuse never to do it. So
Right.
a lot of times the hardest things to do in business are the ones that pay the best dividends. So if you don't like to, I was the guy, I hated the phone. As a matter of fact, I still do. So what do? I double down on it. I triple down on it because I dislike it so much that I have to make sure I do that so that the easy stuff where I make money on the easy things, they're still going to come. But if you're just going to base your money, your income, your production on what's easy for you, you're negating all these other important steps that have to do with your success. So do the hard things first. I don't like the phones. I don't cold call. That's one thing I don't do.
Okay.
I don't cold call. But what I do is that I never meet someone without making sure they have my phone number.
Okay.
So when I talk to people, I'm right now a member of a church that has 40,000 members in it. 40,000. And
there's a lot. There's a lot of potential leads there, just right there.
And that's just in South Florida alone. So here's the thing. I don't care if your church has 4 members or 4,000 members. I don't care if your dry cleaner has 4 people walk in or 400,000 people walk in. Every person that walks into that place should have your phone number. Every person. If you're the type that I want to stay private, then there's a little secret. This is family. This is business.
Oh, you have 2 phones. By the way, you've got that backdrop that's fogging, so it's fogging what you just held in your hands. Yeah. I'm assuming that's your phones. Okay, listen, so you got 2 phones.
iPhone and Samsung don't pay me, so I'm not gonna give them any props. So when they pay me, I'll unfog this, and you'll see what type of phone we get. When they pay me, I'm not a commercial for anybody.
So what you were holding up though were 2 phones. Got it. Okay, yes. I didn't even know it was a phone. All right, so you have a business phone and a personal phone.
And a personal phone.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Now, why do you have the 2 separate ones? So to explain why you have the 2 separate ones, because people might say, well, you can have just different ringtones. One that's your personal family that's in your phone book. So why 2 separate phones?
9 kids, 4 grandkids, and elderly parents. And who's a bigger child than those people? My clients. You always find a client that's gonna want to call you at 2 a.m. because I can't sleep. The closing's tomorrow. And you're like, shut up. We have a closing tomorrow. I need some sleep, So my business phone, all my clients know, and please set some boundaries in your business. Please set some boundaries in your business because people will respect your boundaries.
Yes.
People will not respect you if you don't respect your own boundaries. So I tell my clients, I don't answer a call after 7 p.m.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're going to lose business. Okay, then it wasn't mine. They can leave me a message. They can send me a text and I will answer it tomorrow morning. But after 7 p.m., I got a beautiful hot wife. I got a dog that needs to be walked. I love dinner. I go to church and I have 9 kids and 4 grandkids. I don't have time to answer phone calls until midnight.
I'll tell you, that's one of the things that I've been doing this for over 30 years now. And one of the things I've noticed about successful agents like you, George, is that they actually have boundaries and they're not working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
No, my wife is in real estate. She's in business development in real estate. And talk about God bringing me the right person, huh? So she right. So she was an assistant to someone in a past life in real estate. Okay. And the rules that she established for that person who was already a top producer is, why are you working 7 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day? She goes, because I got to keep creating business, keep creating. She says, you're hiring me as an assistant, but you're hiring me as a manager for your business, right? Yes. Okay. You're taking this and this day off. And your phone stays with me those 2 days because I don't trust you. So your phone is mine for 2 days. And you're taking those 2 days off. Guess what happened? That professional who's already a top producer doubled her business in 6 months.
Yeah, I know for me too. There's several things about that. I know for me, when I take time off, because I'm not always good at doing it, but when I do it, and I'm not talking about a vacation. If I just take a day and just say I'm walking away, I come back with some kind of rejuvenated creativity that solves the problem that I thought working harder at it would have fixed it. But actually letting it go opens up something and you come back to the problem more effective. I think that's what happens. But yeah, interesting. Now, there are some top agents that work constantly, and that could be just a model of, well, if you throw enough stuff against the wall 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, yeah, things
I
are going
was that person. I
Okay.
was that person. And I've done very well in my business every single year. So I was that person. But literally, when I said I am going to establish a boundary where on Sundays, no one can reach me business wise. This is my day. No one is going to bother me. And that's it. And if my clients cannot respect that, then they can work with another agent. That's fine. Because I was in New York, 8.7 million people. If one person doesn't want to respect my Sunday, boo-hoo, go work with someone that doesn't care.
Yeah.
I care about my Sunday and my sanity. And when I established that one boundary, that one single boundary, my business changed. You're absolutely right. All those problems that seemed huge by Monday were insignificant, and I had answers for, because I got to detox from all that negativity throughout the week on that one day.
Yeah.
Now I'm in Florida, and I wore a white shirt so you can see that I have a nice tan. Because some days, everyone, even my church, knows they can't reach me. I go to service Saturday evening because Sundays, my wife and I, two beach bums, are in the beach. 8 a.m. our chairs are already open, and we don't leave until 1:30 p.m.
Wow.
This is our schedule, and even our kids know that we're going to be very difficult to reach. Even in my personal phone, very difficult to reach from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. because I'm in the beach and I need that time, because this is stressful. You know this.
Listen, it's not just from a business standpoint, but just from a relationship standpoint. I mean, like, hearing you say that, it's, that's important, that if you're married, you need to give some time to that relationship. I think we all know, people who are married, not even just people that have other people that you're committed to, that relationships are, take work. Yeah. And if you don't work at it, then it turns into not a healthy thing, right? So
listen, I'm a divorced father. 2016 was a rough year. What, for the people that are watching this and they're saying, "Oh, George is so happy. He's headed to this much production and all this, and look at the smile, and he's shining, and he's in Florida and in New York." And 2016, I got divorced. 0 deals in the pipeline because of all the problems that were going on. My brain was just all cluttered. $4 in the bank. Wow. So don't tell me that you can't get a smile like this when you're going through adversity. Everybody's going to go through adversity at one moment or another. What I did to overcome that was, one, reestablish those boundaries. I need 2 days now. Wednesdays and Sundays don't bother me. I need them, because if not, I'm probably going to choke you out when you're trying to convince me to do something crazy in business. Yeah. And I was just ready to explode and implode. So I was like, I had to stop. So I established those boundaries, and surround yourself with very positive people in this business. Negative people are very easy to find. Very easy. Yep. As a matter of fact, when you hear this, you're thinking of a negative person on your team, whoever is listening to this, or a negative person you've met in business, or a client, or somebody, or in your own family. Negative people are very easy to find. And believe me, they'll find you. But if you surround yourself with positivity and positive people, and take the time to detox from all the negativity, and get yourself a mentor or a coach. Darryl, I always tell you how much you've done for my business. And people see me do it publicly, but you know that I tell you privately as well. You've done so much not just for my business, but for my sanity through the business. Because people need a mentor that can actually take them out of the noise and get them refocused in what actually matters. There's been times where I've had to ask you questions where I just couldn't figure it out. It was a puzzle in front of me. And you go say something, and I'm like, George, you're so stupid. Like, that was so obvious. Well, why did Darryl have to tell you that?
One of my favorite expressions is that when you're in the picture, you can't see the frame. And that's the job of a coach, is to be outside of the picture, outside of your situation, and see that maybe the things that you can't. I want to go, we have a few minutes left here. I want to go to, I wasn't planning to talk about this, but I wasn't aware about the, 2008 and you being basically, it sounds like broke when you were
2016.
I'm sorry, 2008, you got into real estate, 2016. When you're going through the divorce. So from a strategic standpoint, emotionally, I got it. You started setting your boundaries. You had good people around you, positive people. Strategically, how did you go from a few dollars in the bank to, closing 100 million this year?
I pretended I was a brand new agent again.
And you actually said that to me. I do remember that. I didn't know where you were financially, but I remember you getting on one of our coaching calls and you said that. You said, Darryl, if I, as a brand new agent, what should I do?
Yeah. And I was literally, because you get to a point where the business was going so great. 2015, phenomenal year. Wow. I mean, I didn't even have to put a sign on a house to sell it. And 2016, my marriage fell apart. My finances fell apart. It was a very, very tough year. So what did I do? I could have walked away, gotten a job. I'm not the job type. I'm terrible. So I'm not. Or ponerte las pilas, which is like put on your big boy pants and go out there and start doing things as if you're a brand new agent. I literally, in 2016, in the winter, went door knocking. I said, no one knows me. And I picked a neighborhood that I had never, ever touched before. Now I'm a New Yorker. I mean, if you walk through, my wife just experienced it. We were there a couple of weeks ago, and every grocery we walked into, where you been? I love you. Oh, here's some real estate business. And she's like, what is this? I'm a New Yorker. It's what I do. I network with people, but I went to neighborhoods that I had never touched. Well, one neighborhood I had never touched before, Floral Park, Long Island.
Yep.
And I went in there because as a member of, remember, I've been on the job before, so I understood these people. I understood firemen and police officers and everybody else. So I went into that neighborhood because I know that there are a lot of people there that I'm going to be able to have conversations with because we're going to understand each other. But I had never touched that neighborhood before.
Okay.
Talk about no excuses. I didn't have a car. $4 in the bank, you can't afford a car. I didn't have a car. But there's public transportation that took me there. And when you're door knocking, what are you going to do? You're going to park your car and you're going to walk. So why not take public transportation, read while I'm headed there, prepare myself mentally, imagine the conversations, and then go door knocking. And I went door knocking. I never liked door knocking. I liked business knocking. That's a completely different strategy. You walk into businesses, you talk to them and talk to the people that work there because they're stuck there. They're a captive agent, a captive audience.
Captive audience. All right. So you started door knocking. What did you, how were those conversations? Were you dropping something off? Were you offering CMAs or what was it?
I was walking through the neighborhood. Remember I told you I picked a neighborhood I'd never been through, and it's such a beautiful neighborhood. The Tudor homes over there. Oh, go to Floral Park, check it out. But anyway, if you haven't done it, that's to all the listeners. But so I went to Floral Park, and I literally went door to door, and all I said was, I want to ask you about this neighborhood because I was open. I'm getting divorced, and I'm looking to relocate away from crazy. So this is the neighborhood I'm considering. Was it true? No. But was it true? Yes. Because I was getting divorced.
Right.
And I was relocating. but it wasn't to Flora Park. But I used my own pain, my own personal experience to
Mhm.
actually convey real emotion when I was having these conversations. And no one knocked on the door. If it was a lady that opened, I'm not going to talk about me getting divorced and relocating because I don't want I don't want problems later. And most of their husbands
Mhm.
have guns over there. So I'm not
Mhm.
playing around. But I would door knock. I would say hi. And if it's a man who answers the door, how you doing? My name is George Rosario. I'm a realtor, but I'm not here to try to convince you to sell. I want to ask you about this neighborhood because I'm getting divorced. I'm
Mhm.
relocating and I
Mhm.
want to move away from crazy.
Mhm. Okay.
That was my whole introduction. What can you
Okay.
tell me about this neighborhood? I'm gonna be a divorced dad, so I want to make sure that this is the right neighborhood.
Okay.
People were so open to tell you about the neighborhood, how great it is, and the ones that hated the neighborhood, I hate this neighborhood. Great, I
You
can help
want
you
to
sell the
move?
house. I can help you sell the house and move you somewhere that you love. I got
All right.
listed.
So what I think the huge takeaway there is that, I mean, I don't know if I would say that I'm considering the area, but I get the other part of it. But the important part of what you said was you had a few dollars in your bank, you were hungry, and you had to do whatever it took to have a financial breakthrough to turn things around. And you didn't stay in the house and lick your wounds and why me and justify the being a victim. So that's powerful. That and yeah, for somebody of your level to go back to hitting the streets, going door knocking, there's a little bit of swallowing of pride, but hey, you did what you had to do, and here you are going to close 100 million this year. So
Listen,
I
you can't put pride in the bank.
yeah,
People
right.
need to let go of pride. You can't
Yeah,
put pride in the bank.
can't pay the
You know
bills
how
with
many
pride.
broke people drive around in Mercedes and BMWs because of pride? You
Mm-hmm.
can't put pride in the bank, guys. So
Yeah.
stop running your business on pride. If you have to beg, but go and make it happen.
All right, so we've got to end. I can keep talking to you for for hours, George. Literally. If there's one thing that you'd want to just to close this out and share with people watching, one suggestion to help them bring their business to the next level, what would that be?
Let's stay positive no matter what's going on. So don't listen to all the negative nannies because there's always something negative in your life in business, in personal life, and business life. So much negativity. You know that's what I always open and close with in all my public speaking is stay positive, focus on the positive because the negative is going to chase you anyway. Run towards the positive. That's to me, that's number one in anything you're doing, whether it's relationship in business or in personal. Stay positive.
Awesome, awesome, very good, George. One more time, what's that way to get that cell number if people want to get in touch with you?
Text me at 917-945-4211 and I'll send you a link where you could choose a million ways to contact me. But text me 917-945-4211.
Awesome. All right, brother. Thank you so much. And you stay right here while I say goodbye to everybody. So there you go, gang. I hope this was helpful for you. And just remember, as a real estate professional, we don't just help people buy and sell real estate. We actually are helping them get to their next level. And the money you make is a gauge as to how many lives you've touched. So focus on making a difference in people's lives and the money will follow. God bless everybody. Stay safe, stay focused, and don't forget to keep smiling.